This is your daily market review for Wednesday, April 30th, 2025. Let's go.
Hey everyone, this is my channel to help investors and traders develop a probability-based mindset to succeed. Also try and keep friends informed of what's going on in the markets and the economy, and also a little real estate content as well.
This is Dan Max at EXP Realty, aka The Trading Agent, your daily market review for Wednesday, April 30th, 2025. Hopefully you're having a great day. If you've been following the channel, you know that the market was supposedly supposed to go down. Go check the Stock Traders Almanac. Again, it's a book we recommend. It talks about how the markets fluctuate through the seasons, through the months, through the days, through the weeks. Great resource. You know, a lot of people talk about recommending reading it. Today was no different. Last day of the month, after the month that rallied, or I would say necessarily the month, the last couple of days, the market, we'll say a couple of weeks had rallied. You get some profit taking. Well, now you got profit taking, and then the market rallied back at the end of the day. We talked about window dressing, market markup, new money, new month coming. The retail traders who are, again, we talked about bearish, bullish indicators. Again, your judgment to take it on your own. But it's very clear. Again, there was an overwhelming majority of people bearish of the market and expecting it to drop. And money managers aren't owning the market. Again, we talked about this in the Discord room, post this in the Twitter. Again, this is public knowledge. Again, if people are underinvested, underexposed to the market, it doesn't take much for people to have to chase if something changes. I mean, it could get worse, right? You can't always assume anything, but just be aware. That's kind of what's going on here. Not surprised with earnings. Some of the companies are popping today after a lot of them got drugged. So we'll get into it. Again, if you're new to the channel, check out the Discord room. Links description below. I appreciate all love, support, generous donations. If you want to join, obviously don't hesitate. Click on the link if you'd like to chat. Take 30 minutes. Holler at your boy. Let's go. If you're looking to buy, sell, invest in real estate, please do yourself a favor. It's not hard. Hit me up. The reason why is you get 2 agents for the price of 1. I can find you a great agent anywhere in the country. I have my referral network is second to none. I promise. No bad reviews. Love helping people out, especially the agents that I use. I vet them for you, so you don't have to get comfortable. You don't have to do any hard work to figure out who might be the best person to work for. Because again, that's my job. I take it on. And again, you're going to pay a commission to one agent. It's whether you just get a little bit goes to me as a referral. Same thing as if you Zillow, Redfin, and they open a door for you. I would be hopefully find you the best agent freaking possible on the planet to help you buy or sell your house or looking to invest in real estate. Also follow, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell on YouTube, Twitter, posting ideas, thoughts, retweeting things that we think are important. Again, if you want to check out all the education videos and every other resources on the YouTube channel as well, notification bell, you alert when this thing becomes public. Also, check out tradingagent.com. Tons of resources here. And come on, refresh the video. There she goes. And yeah, tons of information, recommended reading. Here's the Stock Traders Almanac. If you're not familiar, it's by Jeffrey Hirsch. Great book. Again, it's not even a reading. You just open it up like a calendar, and it talks about what should be coming and going. Fear and Greed Index at 35. Not surprised. Again, we went from extreme fear at 3, which I hadn't seen before in a long, I wouldn't say before, but in a long time. We're still in fear. That's why, to me, it doesn't seem out of the realm that the market continue to rise going into, I don't know, next couple of weeks. Selling may and go away or rally during earnings. Again, everything overpriced, like in the sense of market destruction and things not as bad. What if Trump changes his mind? Again, that's always possible. Again, companies might, we talked about tax cuts, accelerated depreciation, corporate tax cuts, all things that could juice the market if it comes out. Just keep that in mind. We know next meeting, no cut expected. If you saw the economic data today, GDP came in worse than expected. Not surprised. And we talk about government spending being shut off. I mean, whether you like the previous administration or not, that was how their GDP was built, on government spending. Well, you cut the spigot on that, of course, what's going to happen? GDP is devised by government spending. You erase one part of it, then GDP will come in lower. It's just natural. But anyway, I don't want to go on. Again, it's not even political. It's just a fact. And so it was already priced in. If you didn't know this, people were expecting a negative 0.2 GDP number. It came in at negative 0.3. That was the expectations. Is that really a big miss? Big change? No, I don't think so. Pretty standard operating. So let's get into it. Bitcoin, whole lot of nothing. Again, this is why support resistance matters. That's why we watch the levels. Seem to be stuck here. Keep it simple, stupid. Oil pulling back. Again, I don't feel like that's the current price, but I'm not really too concerned about it as it holds. I'd be watching these levels around 58. Now, I know a lot of people are bearish on oil. I'm not really trading oil. I'd be watching oil service because the idea is drill, baby, drill. We'll see what happens here. Again, lower prices just do what? Reinforce the use of oil and gas. Again, if you want to get rid of all of it, I get it. If you're trying to go green, I get it. But when the prices get so low, you already have the infrastructure, it just reinforces it, whether you like it or not. Natty gas seems to be holding up pretty well off the bounce. Not surprised. Again, keep an eye on this stuff. Again, not really trading it, not trying to give ideas on it, but just worth a watch. Dollar, we talked about getting clobbered with all this tariff stuff. What have you noticed? Seems to be basing, finding a bottom. Is the global reserve currency over? I don't know, but I'd be watching. TLT, talked about bonds. I mean, how can you not like the TLT off a double bottom? Now you're mid-range. Not saying it can't go higher, but I'd be watching what happens to the 200-day. Keep an eye on it. Again, VIX, talked about again, due to bounce, right? You got the bounce. Look where it failed. Right at the resistance zone around 28. I'm not saying that the market has to crash or the market has to go up, but based on the VIX, I mean, it looks like it's doing what it typically does after a big spike. Comes right back down. Are we there at the lows yet? I don't know. Maybe we need to fill this gap around 22. Maybe it doesn't even get that low. I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. Again, I think volatility comes in over the next couple of weeks, and then maybe it can pick up again. VIX typically bottoms first, just watching it SPY. Look at today's candle. Bears thought the world was ending again, which again, I'm not trying to troll them by any means. I mean, I've been there before. Look at the close. New money, new month. First pullback, and look at all the volume on the day. It was catching a bit. How far do we, I mean, you got the pullback. How far now? What? I feel like the 200 day is coming. That's just my guess. Then from there, we'll know. Q. Because again, you got to go a little higher than people think to draw on the bulls, and you got to go a little lower than think to draw on the bears at the lows, right? That's what people do. They puke at the top. Sorry, puke at the bottom, chase at the highs. Q, same thing, 200 day. Keep an eye on it. From there, I don't know what will happen. IWM, we talked about, has been lagging tremendously over the years. Again, you can go watch previous videos. Now it seems to be leading well over April 9th. See that? Some of the other ones not. Look at the Qs. Barely over it. SPY, I'm pretty sure is, I don't know how many points yet. SPY, 5 points over it. IWM looks much stronger. Just in my opinion, DIA, typically what? Just follows the market. I don't even know why I talk about it. The Dow Jones is 30 stocks. It's really not that important. You say that to people and they go, what are you talking about? Everyone talks about the Dow. Yeah, only people don't know talk about the Dow. All right, let's get into it. Gold, we talked about chopping around the high. I don't know. If I would chase it here, honestly, I told you Q2 is usually shitty, excuse my language, for precious metals after a big up move. Peace comes in fact. I don't know. I just wouldn't be chasing it here. Again, not to say that it has to get crushed, but I'd be expecting a pullback. You got to trade. You remember, when things go in bottle rockets, they pull back. And that was a bottle rocket. GDX, miners, again, we talked about them. I mean, I just don't trust. Second quarter, seasonality. Again, I hate fighting seasonality because it can be wrong. But again, it's like you're fighting the known knowns. Maybe you don't know that, but the market knows that. People have been trading. Stock trader, oh my, they know that. GDXJ kind of lagging here, just chopping. AEM, again, they've been leading, but chopping around. AM's been the boss, right? AG, again, you would think this if silver was really going to go bonkers, why is it just stuck? Newmont, same thing. Like, if this stuff is going to rip, right? Don't be surprised if it consolidates. That's how I look at it. It's like zoom out, you hit the resistance zone, you fill the gap up there, let them pull back. Don't get too, you don't have to do anything. That's the irony here. PAAS, interesting, right? Chopping around. Again, a lot of these names, whatever. Again, miners and metals, Q2, I'm telling you, they're not going to be that exciting. If they are, that's the anomaly. Taiwan Semi, we talked about this, due to bounce. About the bounce. You go from oversold, here's the straight line, puker. Bouncing, I don't know, 200 day would make sense. Like retest, old support, resistance, and then where it kind of failed from. I don't know. Does that make sense? I mean, does it have to? Again, that doesn't always have to. Again, it's not logic. Remember, the market has participants that don't use logic. Micron, we talked about these names. They've been absolutely crushed due to bounce. AMD, same kind of thing. Sorry for the loogie. Oh man, I'm just really congested. I mean, in Denver, we're getting all of the pollen now. Yeah, just keep an eye on it. Again, I expect these to bounce. I've talked about it. NVIDIA, again, I've said this was the short of 2025, in my opinion, based on recurring patterns. You do what you got to do. Consult a financial advisor. Disclaimer. Talk about that being the top. In between, I don't touch it. Like, again, if I see the 120s, might take a stab on it. SMCI, again, what does it do? Gambling on accounting issues, weakness. I don't know. It's just deleted. It's such a dumb stock to watch until they get their book figured out. Intel, we've talked about this one, trading range. You got to love trading ranges. It doesn't take a rocket scientist. Again, consult a financial advisor. Do what you need to figure. Just watch the range. Learn to trade it. AVGO. Talked about this at a big buyback. It's not getting an Apple buy that it typically gets, but again, a stock goes from 250 down to 130s. We've talked about this. You read just like reminiscent stock operator, Jesse Livermore. The first drop, major drop, will get bought. Would you consider this a major drop? Leave a comment below if you think so. SMH, again, like is the buy happening now? Like, are you surprised? It's probably not. Good old SMH gets burned due to bounce. Again, I'd be watching the 230s if I had to guess. Adobe. Sorry, I'm gonna pull up briefing in the background because I know there's a bunch of earnings names dropping. Drop it like it's hot coming in. Yeah, Microsoft, Meta, they all beat KLA 10 core, even Qualcomm, but it's not reacting well. We'll see. Adobe, we talked about this, like little higher low, oversold. Apple getting a little bid here slowly, slow and steady, right? Backs off. I mean, do you think people, and this is where it's so funny, like I don't need to be a rocket physician. It goes from 259 down to $170 to old support. Here's the bounce. Is it sustainable? Again, I don't trust tech long term, but I'm also not a dummy. Wouldn't be surprised if the gap fills at some point. They have earnings coming up. Amazon, same kind of thing. Earnings coming up. Keep an eye on it. Chopping around. Up after hours with some of the other names. Goes from 240 down to $160. Catch my drift. Meta here again. I rolled the dice into earnings on this one because I'm like, this thing has gotten crushed. 740 down to 480. We know they're not going to be affected really by tariffs. Trade war potentially if China tries to cut them off. TikTok stuff. Yeah, we get it. They crushed as normal, as expected. Expecting some sort of bounce. Minimum 580, 590. Maybe even back to 600s. I mean, would it be out of control? Again, if you want to draw the fib sequence now, because again, it seems like the bottom is in on this drop. It doesn't necessarily mean that we can't go lower in time. But yeah, I was thinking somewhere around this maybe old high here too. Keep an eye on it. Let me pull out the old fib again. And there we go. Looks a little cleaner. Makes sense? Keep it simple, stupid CRM. And again, names that have gotten crushed, right? Due to bounce, chopping around. Guggenheim has earnings coming up. Again, another name. Keep an eye on it. Your guess is as good as mine going into earnings. We don't know the reactions, but we can guess that if they're oversold, probably going to bounce, especially have the good news. Microsoft at 417 after hours. Are you surprised? No. And maybe, again, this is the bounce, and this is what gets a little tricky. Is like maybe these bounces last for a couple days. Great trading opportunities. Because, again, at some point, they're going to have to get everybody to chase in the markets. That's probably when we need to be slightly stupidly exiting, maybe. I mean, slightly stupid is a band. Sorry, that popped in my mind. But sliding out of the markets, right? That would make sense. Taking risk off. We'll see. I like the material names. We'll talk about those. MicroStrategy. Again, Bitcoin gets over these ranges, or Bitcoin gets over 94,000. I don't know why you would go back to the 400 plus. Netflix, this has been building. Again, things you probably wouldn't see if the market was weak. Like Netflix making new all-time highs after earnings. Roblox. This one's been holding the 200-day bounce. Look at these action. Open, lows, close, high. It's tough, man. If you're a bear, it's tough sailing out there. Crowd. We talked about the cybersecurity names. Love them. Look at these bounces. PanW, again, love it. I mean, you do what you got. We talked about it. Got crushed. Pullback, rallying. I mean, this is true strength. We talked about cybersecurity names again, and I'm not advising you to buy stocks like this, look into it, but I do believe I have an opinion, which I can share, is that I think cybersecurity stocks will have a lot of business if there's a trade war and these issues going forward. Like cybersecurity is a real thing. Tesla, this is interesting, right? Trading around it, buying the dips, watching the action, do what you got to do. This feels like a big base. Like we got crushed. And I don't know. I'm not saying we're going to 500. And some people are going to say we're going to 1,000. Some people are going to all. I don't give a crap. I'm just trading it. I said this morning in the Discord room, watch the 270s. Nice bounce. You do with it what you got to do. All right, Palantir. Again, it's things you wouldn't see if the markets were going to get crushed, holding up pretty well. Insight, as I talked about, I think this is a buyout target. Do your own diligence on this one. Makes sense down here. Again, I think they have a good pipeline. All public knowledge looks all right. And the pipeline is where I think the real value is coming from. So obviously what they have is already known. HIMS, gapped up, chopping around again. The stock is probably in the what I'd consider the chop zone. Big blow off, up move. Now it consolidates. Talked about that. That's typical fashion. BABA, here we go. You know, talked about the 200-day bouncing. If China stuff is not going to get as bad, even for BABA, I mean, for their as a company, I mean, makes sense they're going to be okay, potentially. McDonald's, chopping around like it's about to break out. Like, again, things you wouldn't see if the market was going to get crushed. Break out the new all-time highs, McDonald's. Starbucks, look at the earnings reaction. Big miss. Big whopping miss. Looks like someone's buying it down here. Airbnb, this one's been chopping around, but doing okay. Coin, we've talked about this. Like, you should be breaking over this downtrend, old uptrend. Now is resistance. Keep an eye on it. Because, again, I'm not going to sit here and know which exchange is best. But, again, stock has gotten crushed. DKNG, another one keep an eye on. Again, this has been crushed. I don't really trust online gambling going into a recession, but your guess is as good as mine. Costco, again, holding up pretty well. Holding up pretty well. Federal Express, right? UPS guided, said they're cutting 20,000 workers, yada, yada, yada. Look at the reaction. Going nowhere. XLF, again, financials are holding up. You got to be careful. Again, you need to see financials get crushed if you expect the market to get crushed. Hood had earnings after the close. They increased their buyback. Looks pretty good. I mean, it's over the March highs. JP Morgan, all these bank names again. Watch them consolidate. I mean, you got very clear start go action. You get over like 246, could go higher. If it fails the 238, it's going lower. Keep it simple, stupid. Again, these are just support resistance. It's not my opinion. It's just what you learn of a probability-based trader. Look at the levels. Morgan Stanley holding up. Bank of, again, I can just rally through these. They're all dropping around. Goldman Sachs at the 200-day. Carry, this is one of junior. If the market's going to get crushed, junior banks should be getting crushed. Holding up pretty well. Just keep an eye on it. XBI, we talked about this one being a risk-on trade that had been pulverized. If you zoom out, pulverized. Look what it's doing. Higher highs, higher lows. Jets, again, I'm not really. Airlines, questionable. Don't know. XHB, even housing stocks starting to bounce. Keep an eye on it. Chemicals, again, they all got some, like chemicals materials, got crushed today at the open. Look at Dow, rallied right back. CE, rallied right back. Again, these names have been absolutely smoked. Caterpillar, earnings weren't very good. Seems to be holding up pretty good. Again, you don't know the reaction to good or bad earnings. Market presents it. Deere seems to be holding up well. Nucor. Again, a lot of these names rallied right back. X, we know is going to get bought out at some point, right? I look at this. I mean, just making new highs. And that's some really strong strength, right? Like when you can make new highs amongst the market that's weak, that says, I don't give a shiznit. Like that stock is like, I'm going higher. Vale seems to be chopping around. I like it down here. It makes sense. Back testing trend line. Arrow, right? Drops at the open. Green holds the 50-day. FQVLF. I mean, again, names that look interesting. Big consolidation range. If this breaks out, it's going to go. I just watched the 15s. Can't do nothing about it now. SCCO again. Copper was down today. Futures, not surprising. But again, look at people were there to buy. Like they bought the gap downs. Do you see the clear buying? URNJ, same kind of thing. Gap down, came right back. CCJ, earnings after the close tomorrow. Keep an eye on it. Seems to be holding up. CF, again, we like ag names. Dropped, got bought. Mosaic dropped. Made new highs. I mean, you see what's leading here is materials. Some of them, not all of them. SQM. I like this gap down, actually. I need to put that on. That might be actually a juicy one right there. Holy crap. That one looks interesting because, again, this one hasn't reacted as well, some of them, but look at this doji. And hold support. Oof, 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 oof. Keep an eye on it. NTR, this has been holding up really well. Keep an eye on it. Keep an eye on it. Again, these are acting well. Alcoa, this is one that's interesting. Again, I've been buying more of it. Today, I was like, okay, I'll take that. I mean, I have it on my 10-minute chart, but it's like, okay, you want to test the trend line? Come to me, daddy. Okay, come to me, mommy, whatever. Capitulation, drop, higher high, higher lows coming. I love these names. Kalu, again, another one that should have been gotten clobbered. Holding up. MP, right? Here you go. Materials. Rare earth metals holding up really well. Cliff on the day. Not too bad, right? Keep an eye on it. Good old solar. I mean, if you go look at what happened to our friend First Solar on the earnings, keep an eye on it. It's like TAN, dropped, gapped, Doji, Sedge, right? Chopping around. ENPH, I don't trust these names, these two. But again, look at First Solar, right? Gaps down. Right back to support. Close at the high of day on huge volume. Is that buyers or shorts covering? Either or. That looks bullish to me. Because this is a novice gap trap. Again, if this was a gap coming off the highs, it'd look more of a pro gap, but a gap at the lows, we'll see. Your guess is as good as mine. No one knows anything for sure. Corporate debt, we talked about. You got to be out of your mind to buy corporate debt earlier. Yeah, you get the bounce back. Keep an eye on it. Let's go over oil again. Scott, if you're listening, again, no one's saying short oil or going long oil. I haven't talked about going long. I like the oil and gas names, but I didn't pick the bottom. The bottom was not easy to pick on USO oil. I don't know if it'll be very transparent, but I think it makes sense that if you like this stuff long term, play the drillers. Again, I hate the UNG. We talked about shorting KLD at the 31, 30, 29 area. Again, if you had it on your references, looks good. XOP, I mean, this is more of the trade that we talked about, like the blow off bottom. 100. You're still at $110. Like, no matter how bearish some people are, it's like this is not looking very good for bears. Looks like a big damn consolidation. Again, I can't read the future, but my guess is like, man, this was a novice gap blow off. Look at these gaps. Oh, but it's going lower. Again, if you want to bet on the end of the world, go right ahead. I don't think oil and gas are going way the cuckoo bird. MPC, again, gasoline names holding up. Valero, gasoline names holding up, right? ExxonMobil. We talked about this one. If you were around like a month ago, you thought this was breaking into new highs. Chopping around. BP, we talked about this was a damn gift. Back test the trend line. Looks good. Occidental. Again, I like Oxy. Buffett's buying it. I mean, you do your due diligence. Devon, another one. Looks good. Chopping around. These things have all gotten pulverized. They pop, chop. Again, they feel like they're bottoming. The bottoming process is not a V all the time, y'all. And actually, if it's not a V, it's even better, easier to trade. That's what's ironic about it. Lyondell base, watching. CVE, again, this feels like a big consolidation. Oh, sorry. EQT, I'm sorry. CVE. Even on these names have gotten crushed. Just not, I don't know, not really too much to talk about it. EQT holding up pretty well. And Flex LNG, because again, I think we'll be natural gas exporters. I mean, my stance on oil and gas, again, do your own due diligence, talk to a financial advisor. I'm not necessarily recommending anything based on anything other than repeating patterns and evidence. Again, if the market priced in tariffs, the world ending, the worst case scenario, oil and gas should rally. And again, if you think we're going to do some sort of trade deal with Europe where we're going to kind of cut Russia out and just send them natural gas, then you got to be watching these names. And again, the stock has an 11% dividend yield. I like it. So again, if you have questions, don't hesitate to reach out. Always here to help. Be careful. We've got earnings coming up. More earnings. A lot that can happen. And again, if you're not sure and want to chat, hit me up. Appreciate it. Have a great night. Peace.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, stop by the Discord room. A link is in the description below. Also, if you'd like to help support more free content, the PayPal link is in the description as well. I appreciate your continued support of the channel.